Good afternoon and welcome to Mijas International on this Thursday, the 10th of March. Today's news includes information about improvement works, the coastal path, evening medical cover and cultural offers for the news section. And for the interview section on Radio Mijas 107.7 FM, we have an interview about the medical services that are available. And also for Mijas 340 TV, several women will be with us who are speaking at the Costa Women's Conference coming up tomorrow. First of all, though, we're going to take a look at the local news. And we begin with news about the International Women's Day celebrations. The Mijas Department for Equality commemorated International Women's Day with the celebration of the 8th Mijas en Femenino contest at the Las Lagunas Theatre. 5 women's associations actively collaborated during the evening and 5 women were awarded for their work in the society. And Mijas Comunicación's work in defence of equality between men and women was also recognised. And although unable to attend the event, the Mayor of Mijas, Juan Carlos Maldonado, did have a special message for the celebration. And like other years, the gala had different performances with Carmen Aragonés, the theatre director and actress, who opened the stage with a monologue. She was the first to be surprised with an award for her help in improving the situation of many women through theatre therapy. And during the ceremony, there was associations such as the Mijas International, Club Costa del Sol, who took to the stage to do a presentation, and Mujeres en Igualdad de Mijas. Association Socio-Cultural Mijitas didn't miss out the appointment either. They talked about a network for equality between men and women. And the Association of Women of La Cala also defending the role of women, just as the Association of Women Villa de Mijas did, with their actions and their words. Performances alternated with the delivery of awards to local residents, and Loli Alacon of Mijitas, Ana Roman, ex-councillor of the Mijas Women's Centre, Rosa España, president of the Association of Women in La Cala, and Encarne Perez, a social worker at the Mijas Town Hall. They were all recognised in this edition. There was also a distinction for Naomi Molina, student of IES Villa de Mijas, for her poster for the design for this special day. Mijas Comunicación were also recognised, and the councillor Carmen Carmona closed the event by highlighting that March the 8th is a day for reflection. And something that these 5 women that were awarded had in common is that they are hardworking and they fight for equality in all aspects of life. And local residents, they are contributing their bit for equality between men and women, every day progressing a little more each time. Although they stress that much remains to be done. Rosa España represents the woman who is actively involved in the associations of her village. Encarna Perez, meanwhile, in her 30 years as a social worker at Mijas Town Hall, has worked closely with the difficulties that many women experience. Women like Loli Alacon from the Mijitas Association has dedicated her life to caring for her family. Mother of 8 children, she highlights the importance of partnerships. Actress and director Carmen Aragonés was also surprised to receive the Mijas en Femenino distinction, and for her, art is very important. It's one of the best tools to fight for equality. Ana Roman, ex-councillor at the Mijas Town Council, was part of the team that launched the Centre for Women in Mijas, and her work for equality among people was also recognised. And Mijas 340 television will broadcast this evening, Thursday the 10th of March at 10:15, the Women's Day Gala, which was held at the Las Lagunas Theatre. We also have some news about the coastal pathway. The local council wants Mijas to be the first in the municipality in the Malaga province to have a coastal path for all its beaches. The Department for Infrastructure expect this year to complete the 1.5 kilometre stretch of beach between Cabo Pino and La Luna. And in 2017, the last phase of the path linking La Cala de Mijas to Fuengirola. The government team has been awaiting the approval of the Delegation of the Environment of the Provincial Council to begin the project on this stretch, which connects the road to the beaches of Marbella. And since funding problems have appeared, they've been waiting. And from the Mijas Town Hall's point of view, this sum of money corresponds to the administration's, but the government team will do everything possible so that the project is not paralysed. In addition, they want to put out to tender this year the drafting of the stretch linking La Cala de Mijas to Fuengirola. The aim is that by 2017, the entire route of the coastal path is completed. And Councillor Martin says that if these difficulties are overcome and met, Mijas would be the first municipality in Malaga that has this path covering all its coastline. And we're talking about improvement works in the municipality. The Mijas Department for Infrastructure will put out to tender the works of recovery and restoration for the Los Siete Caños fountain, and this will be in early summer. The Town Hall highlight that they are already drafting the project for this action, in which the local residents have participated, bringing to the table their ideas and proposals. And since the beginning of the mandate, the government team has worked to reach a consensus with the residents of Barrio Santana for the best way to put in balance this infrastructure. Therefore, the first step was put out to tender for the drafting of this action. Councillor Martin continues to provide the neighbourhood groups with the opportunity to contribute ideas before the draft of the project is ready. Forecast is once that it is completed, the tender will be put out at the beginning of summer for an amount of around €200,000. We move on now to a different department at the Mijas Town Hall, and that's Parks and Gardens. And they continue to work on improving different infrastructures. During the week, they're changing the artificial turf at the Fernan Caballero Park in Las Lagunas. The surface will be changed to a rubber one. This rubber surface will provide the security and convenience needed for the park. In fact, this action has been carried out in other areas of the municipality. The work is being handled by the company Axaplay, and it's expected to be completed on Friday. Rubber is almost always a more durable material. And the improvement of this park in Las Lagunas was a direct request from the local residents. The facilities will have a rubber surface in the play area where there are swings, and while in the area of the football field, artificial turf is maintained. Once the works are finalised, families can again enjoy the facilities of the park. Now we're talking about the evening medical services in Mijas. They've been renewed for another year. And Mijas Town Council will again finance it. And this is for an amount of €56,500, of which an average of 15 people a day will benefit. And this is from 8 at night to 8 in the morning. Emergencies will be attended at the doctor's office in the village. And the Department for Health stressed that this is good news for all the local residents. They can make use of this service, which the Town Hall has financed for several years. In 2016, €56,500 will be invested in this service by the local council, and this measure will mean that the villagers don't have to travel to the medical centre of Las Lagunas. Professional who provides this care is highly valued by the neighbours. The renewal will be effective on April the 9th and is for 12 months. All residents in the municipality can use this service, and the goal is to continue to offer quality health care as far as possible. Time for a short publicity break now, and then we'll take a look at some more of the local news for you. Mijas Semanal. All the latest news of the week in the municipality.
Does your memory fail you? Our brain is a muscle that needs to be exercised. Why not join the Preventive Memory Workshop now, before you forget? More information at the Mijas Town Hall and branch offices. Do you remember where they are?
Carrying on with the local news, and we have a cultural offer for you, and we're talking about a very special concert coming up, and it's the choir of the White Voices and Polyphonic Choir directed by Anna Sorrentino, and they're offering a concert on Friday the 18th of March. It's at 8 o'clock in the auditorium of La Cala Town Hall branch office, and as we were saying, it's a very special concert there. And you'll be able to find out more about the cultural offer that happens in the municipality in the Mijas Semanal weekly newspaper, which is out on a Friday, with a section of information in English and the rest in Spanish. So that's the choir of the White Voices and Polyphonic Choir directed by Anna Sorrentino. Their concert will be on Friday, March the 18th, in the auditorium of La Cala Town Hall branch office, and that'll be from 8 o'clock in the afternoon. And there's some special workshops that are organised for seniors in the municipality, and it's memory and anxiety workshops, and it's offered at the Las Lagunas Pensioners Centre on the 14th and the 15th of March, and there are 15 places, and registration period is already open. Department for Seniors announced that they are also preparing these workshops in La Cala and Mijas Village. And these are activities that have a wide response from all over Mijas. Therefore, the Department for Seniors is already working on a new edition, which will start next week in Las Lagunas. To register, you must meet certain requirements, and the workshops are completely free. Beneficiaries of these workshops will be able to exercise their brain through different activities and can improve their cognitive ability and memories, and they can be encouraged to be independent as well. So that's special anxiety and memory workshops at Las Lagunas Pensioners Centre, 14th and 15th of March, and you can register right now. And we open the sports news with fencing, and it's described as an elegant sport and has a special meaning in Mijas with the presence of the Lions Club Adalid. And they're already preparing the next Via de Mijas competitions. And last Saturday was a special edition of the friendly tournament Padres Fundadores, Founding Fathers, which got underway at La Cala de Mijas Sports Centre. And El Puerto de Santa Maria with the Lions Club of Mijas were there, and also invited was the Fencing Club of Jaén and also of Utrera and Motril. The test brought together some 40 participants, and it was a tournament that served as preparation for the most intense part of the season, which begins in the 6th edition of the tournament Via de Mijas in the months of April to June, with the M10 to 12 criterium of the National Championships and Andalusia. Now, in the juvenile category, held in the mixed mode, Laura Gutierrez and Sofia Hernans confirmed their momentum and their position in the Andalusian ranking to be in first and second position. Mijas Adalid and Lions Club fencer Christian Cuevas took bronze, while Emilio de la Rosa took the other bronze in fencing and 2 third places. In pre-cadet mode, and this was Edi Draginsky, was a surprise, defeating in the final the Utrano cadet, shooting the fencer there, Martin Payet. And this was fencing 15-11 points. The bronze went to Bruno Mier, also the Lions, and it was a great prelude to the 6th Via de Mijas, which is the weekend of the 9th and 10th of April. And participating will be more than 200 athletes from inside and outside of Andalusia, including a large representation of Algerian fencers and the presence of Swiss and French representatives. And in yesterday's news, we did mention that the start of the second edition of the Winter Cup 2016 started at the Mijas Hippodrome. And today we offer you the results of these tests, which was for young horses with international gain. And in the form of Scale A, the competition resumed in the second stage of the Winter Cup 2016, which will take us until the end of March. Competition for 5 years, victory went to Cassandra Malherbe from Belgium, and this was taking the reins of Come What May. In the test of 6 years, the victory went to the Swedish Hanna Ackerblom with Figaro, and in 7 years, Brazilian Felipe Ginato, first place with Gin Fizz. And the competition continued for horses in the training phase yesterday, and during the weekend it'll be the turn of the professionals. Remember that you have free admission and free parking, and the competition is from Tuesday to Sunday from 10 in the morning. And of course they've got lots of facilities where you can have snacks and meals and of course drinks as well. Just reminding you really, and I suppose most people will know, that Acosol restored the water supply in the municipalities of Mijas and Marbella a day early. The Association of Municipalities of the Costa del Sol solved the fault before the scheduled time. Service was restored to normal at 11 a.m. yesterday, Wednesday the 9th. Acosol thank its operators and technicians for their speed and professionalism in getting the work done so quickly, rectifying the fault in the shortest possible time. They also thank the residents for their cooperation and apologise to users affected by this inconvenience. And we're reminding you about a special event this weekend. It's the 7th edition of the Wine Fair in Mijas. It was presented recently this week. We did tell you about this. And there's going to be a food tasting as well as the wine tasting at the Mijas Village Wine Museum. And it's March the 12th, and Tamisa and Malvajillo wineries from Mijas will be in attendance, although the majority of the wineries are from the province of Malaga. It's also planned the celebration of the grape harvest, scheduled for October. But getting back to this special day on the 12th of March, the Wine Museum in Mijas will open its doors this Saturday for citizens to sample new wines and learn about the developments in this sector. And from noon, there's going to be wonderful tapas and fine wines available. The Mijas Wine Museum, whose owners have spent years organising these sessions, will have 53 wines from all over Spain available, including 2 from Mijas. So you can look forward to that. And we're going to take a look at the local weather forecast for tomorrow, see what's happening, see what the weather will be like. Sunny skies with cloud as well, so you've got cloudy intervals there. Highs of 18, lows of 9, so a little bit mixed tomorrow. And just very quickly, some information for you about a new earthquake of intensity 4.5 recorded on the Alborán Sea. And it occurred at 00:46 hours in the morning, this morning, and was felt, among other areas, in Melilla, Torre del Mar, Fuengirola, Mijas and Malaga. And during the evening there were several aftershocks, most intense at 7 and of magnitude 3.3. The earthquake has caused no personal or material damage, according to 112 Andalusia. Coming up next for the interview section are 4 speakers who are going to be at the Women's Conference, which is taking place tomorrow at the Andalusia Lab. I have a few guests for you today on Mijas International for the interview section, and we're talking about a women's conference, and Jackie Groundsell from the 1230 Women's Company in collaboration with Costa Women, and that's the networking group here on the Costa del Sol and throughout Spain, has organised for the 2nd year a conference for women in celebration of International Women's Day, and it's called Make It Happen, and it will happen tomorrow, the 11th of March, at the Andalusia Lab. And some of the speakers are with us today, and it's Jackie Barry and Jane Kenyon, and of course the founder of Costa Women, Ali Meehan. Good afternoon, all of you. Good afternoon. And yes, you've been up since the very early hours of this morning, flying from the UK to here. Yes. So lovely that you could actually take time out of your schedule and come and talk to us today. We'll speak with you at the very end, Ali, about how people can get involved. But I think our viewers would like to know what both of these lovely ladies have got to say tomorrow. Now we'll start with yourself, Jackie Barry. You're a writer, speaker, trainer. You provide marketing and copywriting services to small businesses throughout the UK. And you're going to talk about 4x4x4 approach to website wonderland tomorrow.
Yes.
So what does this, what's this all about?
Well, these days it's very common for business owners to write their own web content, but that doesn't mean they know what they're doing. And with 30 years as a copywriter and more than 10 years writing websites for my clients, I can teach them what they need to do to make it work for human beings who visit their website, convert them into inquiries or sales, what to do for search engines to make sure they appear in the rankings where they want to, and what they can do psychologically to make sure that people that land on their web pages take the action they want them to take.
Yeah, because I suppose there are people out there that run their businesses, know their product very well, but don't necessarily know how to promote themselves properly and get to their market through a website.
That's right, and the role of the copywriter is to translate what the business owner is so close to into the language that their customers will respond to, and in a way that makes them stand out from the competition, and in a way that represents their unique brand values and identity.
Okay. Now, you yourself, Jackie, as we were talking about writer, speaker, trainer, perhaps to tell us a little bit about your experience, as you've been growing up, as you've been developing your career.
I knew I wanted to be a writer from about the age of 13, and at that age, school careers advice at that time wasn't very good, and they said to me, no, you don't want to be a writer, you want to be a teacher because writers just starve in a garret. And I didn't want to be a teacher, but the only kind of writing that they'd ever heard of that made any money was journalism. So I went and trained as a journalist, and then, as now, it was tough to get work in any of the kind of writing or creative industries. So I ended up writing for Freeman's Catalogue.
Oh gosh,
I don't know if you remember Freeman's Catalogue. Yeah, so I used to write things like black skirt, 2 patch pockets, material 50% polyester, 50% cotton, available in sizes 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. Please see size guides at the back of the catalogue. All garments washable. That was the kind of thing that I started off writing. I ended up actually a senior manager within the organisation with a team of copywriters and designers reporting to me, not just writing for Freeman's and Grattan, another big catalogue company, but also for brands like Barclaycard and Agfa and Commercial Union. We were like an in-house ad agency. Also did a project in the marketing department to do with in-house communications and rebranding. And I've been self-employed for the last 15 years, so I'm doing the same things, but now I'm doing them for clients of my own choice.
And so what was the catalyst for you working for somebody else to actually taking that step and working, for yourself?
I'd been seconded to the marketing department and did a project that involved a lot of international travel and more fun than anyone has a right to in all their working life. But when that project ended, I had to go back into my original department. My own job wasn't available anymore. And I was put into a role of project managing, still with a creative team of 100 people. But I'm a writer and I wasn't writing anymore. Yeah. So when I got the chance to take redundancy, that's what I did. And that's what set me up to run my own business as I do now.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. I'm sure everybody's looking forward to hearing what you've got to say. Now, Jane, you're described as a serial entrepreneur, author, intuitive coach, speaker, social leader, female champion, and audacious commentator as well. Quite a lot there, isn't there? And you have a passion for empowering teenage girls, which we'll talk about in a minute. Yeah. Now, what are you... I've just had a look at the title for your topic, and it's Superwoman Sabotaging Your Mojo? ?
Well, I'm all about potential, so I'm an empowerment entrepreneur. And I wrote a book last year about Superwoman, and I'm not talking about the Superwoman of the 80s with the shoulder pads and the red lippy. I'm talking about the modern Superwoman who believes that, she's bought into this myth of having it all the time. And so she's trying to be perfect at everything. And, she's got to be the best boss, the best mum, the best domestic goddess, the best lover, the best wife, the best friend, the best neighbour, and so on. And she has to do it whilst wearing heels and looking like she's just stepped off a L'Oreal ad.
Yes, yeah?
So that's the Superwoman I'm talking about. So I'm talking about how she sabotages our right to be us and to be authentic and to be real, because we're spending so much time on our outward appearance and message and things that we think that we should be doing, that we're actually sabotaging who we are. So that's the Superwoman I'm talking about.
So you're going to be tackling that side of things. Interesting. And we probably don't even realise we're doing this.
Well, I think we all have it. I think it's a spectrum. I think some of us are off the scale, but I think we all have elements of it, and I'm going to talk about that. And I'm going to talk about what we need to dismiss it, and because it's become so much part of our identity, and dismissing it means letting it go, and letting anything go is tough.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be talking about some of that stuff and having a bit of fun with it as well, because we will all see ourselves in Superwoman, without a doubt. Without a doubt.
Now, it was talking here about passion for empowering teenage girls. Yeah. Where does that come from then?
So I've worked exclusively with women for the past 18 years. So I always talk about that I'm in my third act. So my first act was I had a very fast-track corporate career. Throughout my 20s and early 30s, and then I got kind of bored of that and became an entrepreneur. So my second act was as a serial entrepreneur, and all the way through my 30s and early 40s I had 9 businesses. Some of them made me very wealthy, some of them took me to the point of bankruptcy. So I've ridden that roller coaster quite a few times, and then when I got to my late 30s, early 40s, I thought I need to do something that's got more purpose to it, that's got more of a calling to it, that's more cause related, that's more legacy generating. And so that's my third act. That's where I am now. And so I've taken everything that I know and all my skills and all my successes and failures and my passion for potential, and I generated it into 2 brands that are all about women and girls. So with women, my brand is the Well-Heeled Divas, and I coach women, I run peer groups for women, I have a huge network of women. And then 6 years ago I set up Girls Out Loud, because I had lots of red flags around what was happening to teenage girls that I wasn't happy with. And I am kind of a woman of action, and if I see something that I'm not happy about, I tend to do something about it. So I'd had several red flags. I was going into schools as a speaker, as a successful female entrepreneur. I started doing a bit of mentoring of young girls. I was asked to coach several girls whose mothers I'd already coached, and I didn't like what I was seeing. And so I piloted an intervention program for a group of very troubled girls. In 2009, and it was kind of a baptism of fire.
Okay.
It was like, this is what I need to do, so this is my third act.
Yeah.
And who knows what the fourth will be, but
it'll lead, this third one will lead on.
Of course it will.
Yeah, it will.
Of course it will. Yeah.
And perhaps not to talk about the businesses that were the problem ones, but what other type of businesses
Well,
have
I've
you
worked all my life in business to business. So my professional corporate career was marketing and brand development. I did what most women do. I set up a corporate marketing and brand development agency when I was 28. So I took some of my team with me. I took some contracts with me. I had 3 years of great fun, and then I was bored. So then I moved into PR. I had 2 or 3 years of fun, and then I was bored. So I moved into management development. Then I moved into executive coaching. Then I bought a lifestyle management company. Then I moved into quality management. So it's all kind of been business to business, people development. And it took me till I was probably 35, 36, till I worked out that really what I was a natural coach. And so I needed to go and get qualified in what that meant. And then I realised I already knew most of it. And then I set up a coaching practice, and that led me to working with women.
Okay, great. Thank you. Thanks very much, Jane. How many speakers are there going to be tomorrow?
We've got 8 speakers tomorrow. Yeah. And as you can gather just from these two, it's going to be an exciting day.
Yeah, I mean, because one of them has dealt with hypnotherapy as well, I believe.
And she's going to be talking about how we need to deal with our own vampires that we have come into our lives that suck us of all the positive energy and things. So that's her topic. So
our own picadillos, as we call them.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's going to be a very interesting day. We've got everything covered from marketing to personal development to websites to pure networking. We've got Jackie Grounds was going to do a pure networking session, so people get to connect with other women as well. So.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, because the range of speakers and the range of audience that'll be there will be quite diverse, and it's a perfect opportunity for everybody to learn something from the other person, isn't it?
Yeah. And it's great to be surrounded by friends, because even though I've just met these two ladies, we're all, singing from the same song sheet, as it were. So we're all friends already, and it's going to be a very exciting, empowering day. It is.
We all know each other through social media, so it's amazing to all kind of come together, and we'll all continue through social media, and that's the power of Facebook and Twitter and LinkedIn.
Makes life, in general, a lot easier.
It does,
Might not think that if you were 13, but that's another story.
Yes, definitely. And what time does everything start tomorrow?
Starts at 9:30 tomorrow. If people haven't got tickets, we're not advertising, we're selling them on the door, but they can buy them on the door. And goes on till about 5, and we've got a lunch as well, and 2 breaks during the day. And it's just going to be an amazing day to make it happen. Yeah, it was a great title. And it's at the Andalusia Lab, which is very easy to get to as well. It is. Yeah, fantastic
facility. And people can get the details as well from Costa Women.
They can get it from costawomen.com or our Facebook page, Costa Women, or just message me, Ali at costawomen.com, and I'll send them any information that they need.
Okay, and remind us how many members you have now?
On Costa Women, 4,570.
My goodness.
That was very specific, wasn't it?
It was, yeah.
Well,
she didn't know I was going to ask her that either.
We've got 1 or 2 more, actually, since... but that's...
And even more from tomorrow.
Even more from tomorrow.
Okay, well, all the best for tomorrow. And thank you for coming to see us as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Karen.
You'll be able to catch up on some sleep in about a day's time. And that just about wraps it up for Mijas International. We'll be back with you at the same time tomorrow with the interview section, and we look forward to you tuning in. Catch up with what we're doing with the Mijas Semanal weekly newspaper. It's free, it's out on a Friday, and this week there's going to be 6 pages of information in English and the rest in Spanish. Follow us on Mijas International Facebook and Radio Mijas 107.7 FM. Hasta mañana.